Good morning. Welcome to Menlo Park Soldier Home for 2026, or 2025, I'm sorry, Veterans Day services. I thank everyone for coming, and will everyone please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Al, please uncover.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to ask Senator Bob Kavicek to please come up and say a few words.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to thank everybody for coming out on this chilly day. However, this is such an important day for us to honor all the men and women that have worn the uniform for America here. And all of your sacrifices, dedication, and commitment to this great country is unbelievable. And we're here to recognize you and to honor you. The most important thing is that you've done this in your lives and put part of your life on hold to serve this great country, and also to allow us all of the abilities and to cherish all of the freedom that we have in this country. So your sacrifice will never be forgotten. And it's not just when you were in the military, it's also when you left the military. Your lives, your dedication, your commitment, your mentoring for all of the people that you have touched in your lives, to allow them to understand what you've gone through and what this great country's about. And it's you, the men and women of the military, that we thank every single day that we get up. Because without you, this country wouldn't be as great as it is today. And it is the best country in the world. And it's because of you, men and women. So thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you.
Thanks, sir. I now ask former Mayor Rosigliano to please come say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. To all of you that are here, thank you. Thank you for being here to commemorate, to honor, and to remember that everything veterans have done for us in war and peace. It's because of your commitment to our safety, to our freedom, that we are able to join you today. God bless you. Stay well. Know that we honor and love you. Thank you.
Thank you. Just want everyone to know this is Veterans Day. We will not be hearing taps today. Taps are for the dead people. We are honoring our live veterans. On this Veterans Day, we are commemorating the services of veterans of all wars. Remember how men and women set aside their civil pursuits to serve our nation's causes, defending the freedom of mankind and preserving our precious American heritage. We believe our strength on the field of battle, on supply lines which nourish our armed might, lay in justice of our causes against the forces of evil. We believe our determination made us better warriors because we fought with our mind and our hearts as well as our bodies. We recognize service to our country and to our cause does not end with termination of military service. We continue our endeavors in behalf of our honorable world peace with feelings of profound gratitude to God and the men and women who gave their lives and part of their cost for this noble cause. Out of blood, sweat, we learned the purpose and sacrifice of tolerance, bravery, and discipline. These are solid foundation stones which our nation is built. Let's remember with bowed heads all the veterans, both living and deceased that gave us this freedom here today. Chaplain.
Uncover. O God of hosts, we bow our heads in thankfulness for the victories thou hast granted us. To those peoples have united with us to stamp out the evils of aggression, intolerance, and greed. We beseech thee to bring the blessings of understandings to the families and friends in this and other lands, of those who have given their lives that men may be free. Grant, O God, that those closest to the fallen may mingle the pain of their losses with the ennobling of light of sacrifice for civilization, sacrifice for a better world for this and other generations yet unborn. Grant us now thy continued blessing upon unity and strength that make victories possible in war, that may win greater victories of peace. Amen.
Amen.
Cover.
Could you have please place the wreath? I think from VFW Post 3117 placing the wreath. One goes here, one goes here. Rifle squad, please. Present arms. Yeah. 2. This concludes our services here at Menlo Park.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I thought, since I told everybody that it was 10 o'clock sharp, I said, well, I better get to the microphone at 10 o'clock. Thank you all for coming this morning for our Veterans Day sign dedication ceremony. Many of you may have seen this ceremony before. We've done it for the past couple of years now, and the response has been very favorable. Everybody seems to like it. So today we will be honoring 21 veterans with signed dedications. At this time, I would ask everyone to stand, please, for the presentation of the colors. Please remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance by Brian Schreck.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the national anthem. Amy Boslett.
Yeah, we'd like to call up Amy, come on up, Amy, who many of you may have heard before. Amy's been doing our national anthem at some of our events for the past couple of years, and it is our pleasure to have her back. Amy Boslett.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order up! Right, hey! Order up!
Thank you. Please be seated. Let's have a round of applause for Amy and that beautiful singing of the national anthem. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Bob Deal. I'm the mayor's chief of staff. On behalf of our mayor, Sam Joshi, I want to welcome you once again to our ceremony today. At this time, we have a message from our mayor.
Happy Veterans Day. I can't be there with you today, but I want to extend my sincere gratitude to yourself as well as all your family members. We here in Edison Township want to recognize all of our veterans for everything that they have done in serving our country. We are here with all the freedoms that we have because of the sacrifices that you and your families have made. We're proud to recognize every veteran by making sure the streets are dedicated to you. You deserve this. I was able to look at each and every one of your backgrounds and your information and where you served, and I couldn't be more proud to have signed off on your street sign dedication. Thank you for your service. We're grateful to have you in our community.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, at this time we will go into the honorees. And for those of you who do not know how this works, what will happen is we will call a name out of a veteran. A representative from the family will come to the podium. Sometimes it's the veteran themselves and say a few words. You'll see some video, you'll see a video presentation, you'll see pictures, and then we ask that the family stay here for a photograph, okay? At this time, we'd like to start with our Korean War era veteran, Ted Pachalski.
Good morning. First, I would like to thank the veterans and their families, for you have served our great country and made sacrifices to defend our freedom. Thank you so much. My father, Ted Pachalski, is this picture up? No, not yet. My father, Ted Pachalski, is also honored here today, for he bravely served in the Korean War in the Air Force from 1951 through 1955. My dad was stationed in Thule, Greenland. Ted was trained as a diesel mechanic and trained in radar. It was his job to help establish a new base in Thule, Greenland. It was 30 to 40 degrees below zero, and my dad slept in a tent heated by kerosene in a 55-gallon barrel. Ted maintained the trucks, which needed to be running 24 hours a day, or the trucks would freeze. He also maintained the base's huge generator. It's also interesting to note that when bulldozing the area, a fully intact woolly mammoth was discovered buried in the ice. Needless to say, one of the biggest enemies was the frozen terrain and the freezing cold weather, for even his meals were brought to his tent. My dad became a staff sergeant serving in the Air Force. My dad moved to Edison and built his own home on Georgine Court in 1968. He was married 75 years to his high school sweetheart, Georgine, and loved her very much. My parents had 3 children, Ted, Kathy, and Debbie, 8 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren. Ted loved God, who protected and provided for him always. He loved his family. He was always there to help us. No matter what the problem, he was there. He loved the New York Giants football team and loved crabbing at the Jersey Shore on vacation with his family every summer. He was a mechanical engineer. He was a mentor, an inventor, and a builder. He built his own boats. He built the floats for parades as the commander of the Edison VFW, and built a cannon when he was a member of the Civil War Roundtable, and went to Edison Public Schools to lecture about the Civil War. Ted was kind. He was generous. Sorry. A joy to be with. He was my best friend. My mom could not be here today. Sorry, I'm crying. As she just came home from the hospital. My father passed about 5 months ago. But she very much wanted to thank Officer Christopher DiPaolo, who took the time to befriend my dad, listen to many, many of his stories, and was instrumental in helping the dedication of the street sign for my father, Ted Pachalski. My mother said just last night that this beautiful sign put up by Edison Township will stand in the memory of my father, Ted Pachalski, and his service to his great country for many years to come. And she greatly thanks you, Officer Christopher and Edison Township, for what you did to honor my father today and always. Thank you. God bless you all, especially you veterans, and God bless the USA. Thank you.
Detective DiPaolo, can you come up, please? You can have Kristen DiPaolo.
Yes, yes.
Who else do you have?
Gentleman there.
Let's bring the family up.
Thank you.
I want you to present this. In front of you. Oh, that's yours. In addition to the street signs that go on the corner, each family will get a small sign that can go in the house, outside the house. Some people put it on the piano or the fire mantle or the windowsill or the garden, whatever. It's your gift from us, and thank you for your service. At this time, we'd like to have the family from Private Second Class John F. Reedy.
Morning, and thank you all for your service. My father, John Reedy, is my hero. Although he's a humble man, often reluctant to take credit for his accomplishments, he bleeds red, white, and blue. At the age of 17, he joined the U.S. Army, received medical training, and was deployed to Korea, where he served 18 months as a combat medic. He never really spoke to me about his accomplishments and experiences, I guess because I'm a woman. But I know his heart is filled with pride over his service to this wonderful country. In 1958, he married his sweetheart Loretta and moved to Edison in 1972. He is a life member of the Edison Elks and a member of the American Legion. His patriotism is contagious to all of us. He truly is our patriarch, and although we may have an unconventional family, he loves each and every one of us, and we are so fortunate to be close. I love you, Daddy. Thank you for your service, and I want you to know how lucky I am to be your daughter, and I get to call you my father. Thank you.
Admin Specialist, Seaman Richard Wakefield.
I am very proud of my husband, Rick. He wears his Vietnam veteran's cap with pride, and he's always very honored when strangers thank him for his service. He finds it very hard to believe that his service was 50+ years ago. USS America aircraft carrier, where he had a whole wonderful new life after leaving his small town in upstate New York. He made friends from all over the country, people he never thought he would be friends and have a relationship with. He enlisted in the Navy at 18 years old. It completely changed the trajectory of his life, coming from that small town. Besides seeing the world, he learned respect for others and discipline to succeed and become the successful man that he is today. He proudly raised his 4 children to be productive members of society. And he's honored to have his name and his naval rank displayed on his Edison Street sign in the town he lives in. Thank you.
Specialist 4th grade, John Toth, Jr.
Morning, and thank you all you veterans. I'd like to thank the Township of Edison, Mayor Sam, Josie, Rob Deal, and special thanks to my nephew, the Fire Chief of the Edison Fire Department, Andrew Toth. A little bit about me. I spent most of my life in Edison with my parents who owned a house on Pelican Place, a brand new house, where I lived with my 5 brothers and sister for over 65 years. I graduated Edison High School in 1966. In October of 66, I was drafted into the Army. I did my basic training at Fort Dix, New Jersey, where I received advanced training also. On Easter Sunday, 1967, I called my parents and informed them that I was on my way to Vietnam. I was assigned to the 402nd Terminal Transfer Company. My duties were a 2-ton truck driver and a 20-ton crane operator unloading bombs. I served a full year in Vietnam. In October 1968, I was transferred to Gettysburg, Maryland. I was assigned to the Battery 4th Brigade, Herc 1st Artillery Missile Site. I was honorably discharged on October 23, 1972. I served the Township of Edison as a lieutenant of the Edison Police Department in the Traffic and Patrol Division. After 36 years, I retired. It was my honor to serve my country along with my father, John, who served in the U.S. Army, and my brother, Andy, stationed in Vietnam, who passed away of Agent Orange after being with the 25th Infantry Division and was known as, some of you veterans know as a tunnel rat. It's my honor to serve my country, like I said. Thank you very much for this honor.
Corporal Michael R. Fiffick. Anybody from the Fiffick family here today? Okay, we'll come back in case they're late. Sergeant John S. Heibel.
First, I'd like to thank all the veterans who are here. I wasn't prepared to speak, but I just want to say a few things about my dad. He joined the Army in 1965 to 1968, and he went to Germany, not Vietnam, and he was at Checkpoint Charlie, serving for 3 years, helping defectors from East Berlin come get liberated in West Berlin. In 1969, him met my mother. They moved to Edison in 1979. They bought our house on Howard Avenue. We still live there today. In 1980, he got a job with the Board of Education, and he worked there till his retirement. So thank you, Dad.
Private First Class Thomas Katzik. Is there anyone here from the family? Okay. Electrician Third Class William Aspinwall III.
Hi, good morning. I'm Janet Aspinwall, sister of William Alexander Aspinwall III, or Bill, of course. Congratulations to all the veterans who are receiving street sign dedications today. I think that's wonderful. I thank Edison Township and the community of Edison for honoring the veterans in this way. I think it's a very nice thing to do. My brother Bill was born in Staten Island in 1941, but the family moved here in 1945 to this area, Coolidge Avenue, and then later on Lafayette Avenue. So Bill was able to walk to Clara Barton Elementary School. For high school, of course, he went to Perth Amboy because at that time, Edison did not have a full-fledged high school. It was still a junior high at that time. Then he graduated in 1959, and he spent a few years here working notably at Merck in Rahway and J&J in New Brunswick. And then in 1963, he decided to enlist in the Navy. So he had his basic training in Great Lakes, and then he served in Greece, Italy, France, the Mediterranean, and Cuba. He served on the USS Charles H. Rowan and USS Cascade. My brother took part in Operation Broken Arrow, which successfully recovered the hydrogen bomb that was lost by the Air Force off of Palomares, Spain. He was honorably discharged in 1966, and that was the same year that Middlesex County College was starting and opening its doors. So he took full advantage of the GI Bill. He attended Middlesex County Community College for 2 years, and then he went to Seton Hall and graduated from Seton Hall, and then out to the University of Colorado in Boulder for his law degree. He was admitted to the bar in Colorado, and he served a long and very successful career as assistant district attorney in Colorado Springs. He was a terrific trial lawyer. I believe he never lost a case. You can check on that, Bill, wherever you are. He's still in Colorado. If you met my brother, you would believe that he didn't lose a case. He's married for over 53 years to his wife, Nani. He has a daughter, also Nani, a son, Bill Jr., and daughter-in-law, Lindsay, and granddaughter, Rosie. Thank you, by the way, to the GI Bill for an excellent education and a very successful and long career as a prosecutor. His childhood home is still in the family, and he comes out to visit often. It's on Lafayette Avenue, where his street sign is. So the next time he visits, he'll be very happy to see that street sign. Thank you to Edison for that. Congratulations, Bill. I'm very proud of you. I love you. He can't be here because he's in Colorado Springs. Thank you very much to everyone.
Staff Sergeant Michael Yarnell.
Good morning. And I speak on behalf of and honor of my husband, Michael Yarnell, a very proud Air Force veteran. After meeting in community college, we started dating shortly before his induction in the Air Force, February 12, 1972. Not great timing for dating. He was assigned to Lackland Air Force Base for basic training in San Antonio, Texas, and continued further training there in maintenance and repair of electronic cryptographic equipment. His next assignment was Cape Kennedy, also known as Cape Canaveral, in Florida, where he spent 2.5 years during the Apollo space program and witnessed many of the historic shots. Some of the equipment he installed was used for tracking and telemetry of those space exploration events. His assignments also include various locations around the world, including Turkey, Antigua, and Ascension Island, which is an island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean between Africa and South America. And while waiting his final assignment, which he thought was going to be Vietnam, he completed his final assignment at Tinker Air Force Base, Oklahoma, working in the Classified Communications Center for the United States. We were officially engaged the day he was discharged, January 18th, 1972, and we were married in May of that year, 53 years ago. Mike is a proud Rutgers graduate and worked as an industrial hygienist for the U.S. Department of Labor for 38 years. Yeah. He also was a consultant and an expert witness until he retired 5 years ago. We have lived in Edison in the same house where we raised our children. We have 2 wonderful children, Stacy and Scott, who were educated in Edison. We have 3 grandchildren, all boys, and I'm proud of you, Mike. God bless all the veterans, and God bless America.
Machinery Repairman, 2nd Class, John Haber.
My father, John Haber, served in the U.S. Navy from 1969 to 1973. He was aboard the USS Wasp. They were mainly in the North Atlantic Ocean looking for Russian submarines. While aboard the Wasp, USS Wasp, he worked in the on hydraulics and in the machine shop. I think this was where he was able to utilize his love of taking things apart and putting them back together to make them work. In 1972, he was stationed in Virginia until he was discharged in 1973. In 1972, he married my mom, Mary Eastman. They lived in Virginia, and then they came back to New Jersey. They lived in Clark, Rahway, Perth Amboy until about 1985 when they settled in Edison at Meadow Road. Mary and John have 4 children, Scott, Wendy, Tiffany, and Amanda. They also enjoy spending time with their grandchildren. And John went to work for the Clark Department of Public Works for 40 years. He's now retired and enjoying his retirement. These days, he enjoys spending time with his family, his dogs, doing work around the house and his garden, and his model trains and his massive layout. Dad and all veterans, thank you for your service. I know Veterans Day is only one day of year, but you're thought of and appreciated every day of the year. Happy Veterans Day, and God bless.
Hospital Corpsman Second Class Joseph F. Valendo Jr. Do we have anyone here from the Valendo family? Okay.
I'm a little late. It takes me a little time. That's okay. Good morning to all you fine people of Edison, especially all you veterans today on Veterans Day. Glad to see everybody's home and well. I'm going to say a few words about my brother Joe. He joined the Navy in 1964, at the time when some chose not to serve. He went to boot camp at the Great Lakes, then Corpsman A School as well. His first assignment was in St. Albans in New York, and then transferred to Guam. While he was there at that base, the Navy was looking for men to volunteer as corpsmen to serve with the Marine Corps. So of course he volunteered. After training, he was assigned to a unit with the 3rd Marine Division. Months later, in April 1967, his unit was redeployed after upgrading equipment and weapons. Now on patrol, within a few days, his unit came under attack. Many are wounded. While going to the aid of his men, he himself is wounded with a gunshot wound to his leg. He applies a tourniquet to his leg and saving his own life. Later, he's medevac to a field hospital, then to the hospital ship Repose, later Japan, then on to the United States, to the Philadelphia Naval Hospital. While they were recuperating from his wounds, he meets the love of his life. Now my sister-in-law, Loretta. He said that was the best thing that ever happened to him. They're married for over 50 years, have 2 children, Michael and Lauren, 4 grandchildren, Megan, Allison, Kate, and Kristen. For Joe, his family has always come first, yet he found the time to contribute to the community by volunteering at the Edison First Aid Squad for over 40 years. We rarely talk about the war, usually just funny stuff. I call him a hero. He says he's not a hero, just an ordinary guy that did his job. He calls me his little brother. Very proud of him.
Specialist 5th Class Donald Corrett.
Good morning, everyone. Before I speak about Donald Corrett, I just want to say that I'm the New Jersey State Assemblyman for New Jersey, and I want to thank all of the men and women here and beyond these walls that have served this great country. Thank you from the great state of New Jersey. Now, just a few words about my brother-in-law, Donald Corrett, who I've known for over 50 years. He enlisted into the military and served over in Europe and also in the U.S. His dedication to this great nation goes unfounded. And as we all in this room, as you take off those uniforms and your service ends, it doesn't end. Today, he still works with the American Legion, helping our vets who have served after him and take care of them and try to help them in their needs, just like everyone here. This is an extended family that people should realize every single day of their lives. The freedoms that you all sacrificed for, that your family sacrificed for, is unfounded. There's nothing like this in the world. The United States is the best place to live, and it's because of you, the men and women, and my brother-in-law, Donald Corrett. Thank you for all you've done, Donald.
Sergeant John Karbinchak.
I want to thank everybody for being here. And I didn't miss the microphone. I probably don't need it. I enjoyed my time, and I appreciate the respect you've given me by honoring a street sign. Three things I want to make sure that everybody understands. I love my country. I wasn't born here, yet every day that I live here, I was adopted by John and Frances Karbinchak, and I kept their names, and we wound up using Junior and Senior because when we were at the same bank, his check went in my account and my check went in his account. It was kind of hilarious. The thing I want to make everybody understand is that I love my country, my flag, and my family beyond all else. And I was so honored to serve because I found out what a great country this is. I don't want to expound anymore. If my family would show up, come up with me, I am pleased to accept a street sign. Come on up. I love my crew, too.
Private First Class Harvey Wendell I understand the family's not here, but if we could just give them a round of applause. Corporal Richard Wagner.
Good morning again. I want to say a few words about my good friend, Mr. Richard Wagner. His handwritten notes I'm going to read for you. Rich joined the Marine Corps during senior year of high school. He reported for active duty 2 weeks after high school graduation. He spent 5 months at the resort on the coast of South Carolina known as Parris Island. 3 months of advanced infantry training at Camp Geiger in North Carolina. After graduation, he was assigned to the 2nd Marine Division, Fleet Marine Force Atlantic. This division was responsible for assisting the Navy in protecting the Atlantic coast and the Mediterranean area. Originally, he was assigned as a rifleman. After 2.5 years, he was transferred to an MC supply center in Albany, Georgia, where he was trained as a small weapons repair person. He spent most of my time getting equipment ready to be shipped to Vietnam. Rich has also been a member of the Edison First Aid Squad for over 40 years. We thank him for his service to the country and to the community. And the sign, of course, is another memorable thing for him. Thank you.
Gail and Sergeant Thomas Piper.
I don't think we should be honored. I think the men that lost their lives defending this country should be honored.
Hello, my name is Gail Piper, wife of Sergeant Thomas Piper, U.S. Marine Corps. The Marine Corps was founded, the Corps was founded on November 10th, 1775, and celebrates its 250th anniversary today. Thomas joined the United States Marine Corps after graduating from high school. Most of his friends went on to college, but not Thomas. He had a calling to join the United States Marine Corps to serve his country. After boot camp at Parris Island, he went to Okinawa, Japan, then Vietnam. The core values of the United States Marine Corps are honor, courage, and commitment, which Thomas still lives by today. After his honorable discharge, Tom went to Rider University, graduating with a degree in accounting. Then he went on to become a VP of a local bank, which is now Wells Fargo. To my veteran family and friends, I salute you. To my husband, I love you. Thank you.
If anybody doesn't love this country, I will help you pack and buy you a ticket.
By the way, Semper Fi for your comment. I'll buy it too. bus.
He was right, he didn't need a mic, so we heard him loud and clear. Senior Airman Nicholas Fiffick. If we could just, if the family's not here, let's just give him a round of applause as well. Chief Warrant Officer for Robert Herka.
Morning. My father, Chief Warrant 4, Robert Peter Herka, enlisted out of high school, February 51. Warrant officer, February 66, cryptographic tech. Spent the next 25 years. Duties included radio repair, transmitters, receivers, radar, associated electronic equipment. Continued on as a military instructor. Presented numerous classes throughout the country, including Officer Candidate School, Seagirt, New Jersey, radio computer systems, mobile subscriber equipment, Fort Ritchie, Maryland, Bismarck, North Dakota, and Military Academy, West Point, New York. His final 18 months, military service, was in a repair facility, Bordentown, New Jersey, commonly known as the Saudi Junkyard. Equipment coming back from Desert Storm was serviced, inspected, repaired, distributed back to active units throughout the Northeast. He retired 30 August 1993 after 42 years and 6 months of service. I'd like to thank all the veterans for their sacrifice and their preservation of our freedom. Come on up, Dad.
Sergeant Arthur Batal.
For a couple seconds. I'm going to ad-lib this a little bit. I want to say thank you to Mr. Herka, Chief Warrant Officer. We served together for about 7 years in the 250th Signal Battalion. And now my brother-in-law wants to speak for me.
Well, happy Veterans Day to everybody, which also happens to be my birthday. Artie, you got to stay up here. His immediate family got stage fright, so I'm going to do it. Artie's grateful to Edison Township for initiating the program and to the community for its recognition. He enlisted in the service while he was still in high school and has dedicated his life and career to the United States military and government. He served as a sergeant in Desert Storm in Iraq in 1991 and retired from the military in 2000. However, continued his government service as a mechanical engineer until 2017. His service was made possible because of the unwavering support of his family, This sign is a symbol of the values we fought for: freedom, liberty, peace, and security, the sign we're going to get. I hope when people see the sign, they remember the importance of civic duty and the price of liberty. Thank you for this tremendous honor, and God bless the United States of America.
Thank you.
Operation Desert Storm, Chief Dental Technician Susan Anderson.
Hi, good morning. Excuse me, a little dry throat today. Happy Veterans Day, and thank you all for being here. Just a little bit about me, because my family is worse than I at speaking, so you stuck with me for a minute. I enlisted into the Navy when I was still in high school, junior year, and then by the time I graduated, 3 weeks after graduation, I went into the Navy for boot camp. After boot camp, I went to school for a dental technician, and then I went on to my first duty, which was in Sigonella, Sicily. I was active duty for 5 years, 5.5 years, and I continued in the reserves. And one of my senior chiefs told me if I wanted to stay in, make rank, be productive, I had to take on a combat support role. So she sent me to Fleet Marine Force training. That's for the medical and dental fields that take care of the Marines. So I got my designator, Fleet Marine Force, 1990, just prior to Desert Shield starting. I was on my last 17 days of training when Desert Shield began. So I kind of knew my number was up. And a few months later, that January, I was in Saudi Arabia for Operation Desert Storm. When I came home, I continued in the reserves, and I retired as a Chief Petty Officer in 2002. I retired a year after 9/11. At that time, I was a police officer in New York City for the U.S. Postal Service. Excuse me. Anyway, I've been living in Edison for the last 23 years with my husband, Stephen. And do not call him Mr. Naglage. Excuse me, don't call him Mr. Anderson. I kept my maiden name, and that's all on my military papers. So, but my husband, Stephen Naglage, is here, and the rest of my family, I thank them very much. I'd like to thank Dave Tingle for introducing me to this program, letting me know what Edison does for its veterans. And thank the city of Edison for this honor. And God bless America.
Operation Iraqi Freedom, Master Sergeant Miriam Soto Quinones.
Good morning and happy Veterans Day. My name is Jennifer, and I'm the proud daughter of Master Sergeant Miriam Soto Quinones. My mom served nearly 30 years in the U.S. Army. Throughout her career, she exemplified resilience, strength, and dedication, qualities that made her not only a remarkable soldier, but also an incredible role model. As a Hispanic woman in the military, she broke barriers and showed me what it means to lead with courage and grace. In 2008, during Operation Iraqi Freedom, she was deployed to Camp Bucca, where she managed logistics for the entire base, a role that demanded both discipline and compassion. Since 1999, she's been a proud resident of Edison, a devoted wife, mother, and now a grandmother to her 3 beautiful grandbabies. Mom, I love you. Your service, your sacrifice, and your example mean the world to me. This recognition is so well deserved.
At this time, could we have a hand for all our veterans, their families? Thank you for your service. I'd like to call up our former mayor, the Honorable Antonio Resigliano, for a special presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Dave and Phil, can you please come up? Thank you. This morning, I have a presentation in honor and memory of Sergeant E. Gene Lamoli, an Edison resident who served proudly in World War II. According to his children, Gene, Russell, and Clara, Sergeant Lamoli spoke very little about his time in the Army. After his death in 1996, while going through their dad's belongings, they discovered that he had taken the time to write thoughts and memories that had kept him awake many, many nights. He actually wrote the title and a dedication that I'll read now. I dedicate this story to all my buddies and officers of the 676th Medical Collecting Company and their families. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Congress, feeling uneasy that war may have been imminent, decided that the small peacetime army would not be sufficient if there was an attack by Hitler and his, quote, mighty military machine. The Selective Training and Service Act was enacted. A lottery would be drawn on January 14th, 1941. Every young man, ages 21 through 35, throughout the nation, holding number 158, was ordered to report to their local draft board. Lamoli was one of them. The term of service was 1 year and then discharge. December 7th, 1941 changed everything. On that day of infamy, Pearl Harbor was bombed and life changed for every person in these United States of America. Sergeant Lamoli's first-person account of the next 5 years are documented in this book. It is inspiring, and heart-wrenching. It is filled with adventure, drama, fear, tenderness, and most of all, a serviceman's love of God, family, and country. On this Veterans Day, I can think of no greater tribute than to share a soldier's story with you. Thank you to the brave men and women who have served our country so nobly and bravely for generations. Thank you to the families who have sacrificed for our collective protection for 249 years. Thank you to E. Jean Lamole and his family for giving us a personal view of one man's experience. I have a copy of the book that his children put together. A copy for Veteran Post 3117 and Father and Son Post 435. I also presented one this morning at the Menlo Park Veterans Home for their readership. And I have a copy for each of our 3 public libraries here in Edison Township. I thank you all. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Before I call up the Commander, Oliveira, for the Veterans Day prayer, I want to just point out a couple of people, and I want to thank a few people who made this ceremony today possible. First of all, the Veterans Committee. If we could have a hand for our Veterans Committee. Okay, we have Brian, and I saw Bill. Where's Billy? Okay, let's have a hand for these guys. They come throughout the year as we plan this. In our office, Mary McAvoy, my partner, Sonia Alves Fierros. I want to thank Brian Clancy and Edison TV because the graphics and the videos and the going out on the corners. Let's have a hand for Brian and our TV. Our police and fire honor guard who came in and will be coming in a minute. Once again, Amy, thank you for singing our national anthem. And Paul DeLeo, who is the gentleman with the bagpipes. Fantastic job. Just a quick note that next year is a very big year for our country. It's the 250th anniversary. And we are not going to leave a stone unturned to celebrate that. We have already met as a committee. We have a committee chairman, Rob Kentos, here. If we could have a hand for Rob. And I also saw Chris DiPaolo, Detective DiPaolo, another member of our committee. And folks, just to let you know, we call it our 250 committee. It's the 250th year. And we plan on celebrating right from the start in January, the entire year, 2026, just honoring our military that made everything we have possible. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call up our commander, Felipe Oliveira, for our Veterans Day prayer.
Thank you again. If you're able to stand, please stand. Uncover. Almighty God, Father of us all, we, your servants, turn to you for continuance of your blessing upon us. You who have spared us veterans from grasp of our enemies, grant us the full understanding of your precious comfort. We thank you for your privilege of life and the blessing we enjoy through your graciousness of our country, the land in which we were given the freedom of speech, religion, and the pursuit of happiness. Assist us to know you better and the wisdom to acknowledge you as the God of the universe and our idea. In your mercy, may we, the living, feed, find our peace. Grant us from above this day, the challenge of the high endeavor, the beauty of the humble spirit, the strong courage and will, without exertion to continue to glorify to you, to praise you, and to love you to the end of time. Amen. Cover.
Release the colors.
Point. Hey. Forward. Up.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to also thank Ashley Chaudhry in our communications department, who is not here today, for her work and efforts in making today as nice as it is. At this time, this will conclude our ceremonies. We are going to, on the corner of Stony Road and 27, we do have our Veterans Park ceremony that is going to start in about a half an hour. Thank you very much for coming. Have a great day.
I want to welcome everybody here to Veterans Park on Veterans Day 2025. I'm Quartermaster Brian Schreck with the Edison VFW Post 3117, and I just want to welcome everybody. Want to point out a couple of our dignitaries. We have County Commissioner Tamara, Representative Karabinchek, Chief of Staff Bob Deal. Charlie, you want to come up and say a few words?
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our annual Veterans Day memorial dedications. And what a great day today, especially for the street dedications. Thank you to the committee who puts all this information together and gets the streets done. You know, we've done so many streets lately, they're starting to double stack the signs on the street signs. So, you know, it's a great thing that we're doing, and thanks to the administration for keeping this ceremony going and the dedication for our veterans. You know, we should honor veterans every day. You know, my grandfather was a veteran from World War I. My father was a veteran from the Korean War. My stepfather from the Korean War, and so was my father-in-law. So, you know, it's always great that we honor our veterans in this special way. And I also want to give a shout out to Peter J. Barnes III, because he came up with the idea to do the street dedications in 1998. And it's great to continue that dedication and that's in the ceremony. So we want to always think of Peter, because we lost Peter, you know, in February of 21. And, you know, it's just a great thing for our veterans and for our community and for our town. Thank you.
Bob Deal, come up.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. It is nice to see everybody out at this time. It is a little brisk. It's a little windy. It's more cold or cooler than it normally is on this date, but that didn't deter the folks from coming out today. Starting from early this morning at about 8:30 at the Menlo Park home, we had folks come out, and we had a wonderful street sign dedication ceremony just now. I want to thank everybody involved. This is a special day that we should recognize and celebrate. I know my brother Chris was a Korean, he was a veteran stationed in Korea, and I want to shout out to him, God bless him. On behalf of Mayor Sam Joshi and everybody involved, thank you, and veterans, thank you for your service.
Ms. Karabinchuk.
Thank you, everyone. First of all, it's an honor to be here today. From the great state of New Jersey, we want to thank all of the men and women who have served and are serving right now in this great country of ours. And we can't thank you enough for all of the freedoms that we have in this great country. So thank you from all of our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to recognize somebody else, if everybody can turn around. Former Mayor Tony Resigliano. She was the one that actually got the town to dedicate this park to the veterans. We are in the process of upgrading. Hopefully this time next year, everything will be done in the park. At this point, I'd like to read a poem and lay the wreaths at each service's flag. It is the soldier, not the minister, who has given us freedom of religion. It is the airman, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of the press. It is the sailor, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the Coastie, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to protest. It is the Marine, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the military, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. It is the servicemen and women who salutes the flag, who serve beneath the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag, who allows the protester to burn the flag. We have one more wreath to lay on the corner here of Stony and Route 27. The sign that signifies this park was given to the town by the United Auto Workers when they still had their plant here in Edison. We dedicate the sign back to them every year for all their members that were veterans as well. Gentlemen, present our... Order arms. Just want to thank everyone for coming out. It's a bit chilly out here today, so long day for a lot of us, but thank you again. Happy Veterans Day, and again, God bless America. Thank you.